Gentlemen.
God forbid the obvious one doesn't get a fucking email right at 6 o'clock. He's got to send us a text right away.
Nope, just making sure. Dotting my I's, crossing my T's, boys. That's all. A lot of numbers were thrown my way today. 7, 7:30, 5, 5:30, 6. Just making sure.
I think it was 5 or 6 or 6:30. I don't remember 7 or 7:30 thrown into the mix there, Raymond.
Well, you don't read your text or emails, so don't worry about it, Bill.
Bill,
Fair enough.
how good of a nickname is the obvious one?
It fits him so good. Dude, just the video of that with the curb music, I was fucking dying.
Well, hey, welcome to the show, the obvious one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me.
We're doing it at 6, right? Yeah. Thanks, obvious one.
Welcome.
It's not. It's a little bit of play off of Captain Obvious. Those commercials was for.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But dumber in definitely a stupider fashion.
Fatter.
I wasn't going there, Ray. But if you want to bring it on yourself, that's
If the
fine.
shoe fits, the shoe fits.
And it doesn't because you're fat.
Ooh,
I don't have fat
zing.
feet. I don't have fat feet.
No, you got slender little piggies
It's all in his face.
All on my face and my tits.
and titties.
Yeah, stop wearing white because your tits look really good in that shirt.
What is that shirt? It's not a dad bod. It's a father figure. I like that. Fit
play
your
on words.
shoulders. Fit your shoulders well.
Thank you.
You hardwired in there tonight, father figure?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Bill, how's vacation going?
Good.
Yeah. He's got look at him. He's got that
How many drinks did you have today already?
he's got that sparkle in his eye again, right?
Oh, the gin is in the house.
We're yet to confirm if that's a sparkle or jizz, but either way, it looks the same. So
Yeah,
it's
same thing.
consistent.
Yep.
Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show, Wednesday edition, December 23rd. Merry Christmas, folks. Merry Christmas as we move into the season. This will be the last time we record before the holiday season, so let's get that out of the way. Happy Kwanzaa, and whatever else denomination you are and celebrate. We're not picky here. Welcome to the show. We even let Ray on in his Jesus hating ways.
Jesus was a Jew.
Indeed.
The Jews killed him.
No, the Romans killed Jesus.
The Jews killed Jesus. We all know.
Bill,
Yeah.
stick to your numbers, okay? History, words, all of that. Just you're Rain Man for a reason. The obvious one has spoken. Just stick to your goddamn numbers. Speaking of numbers, did I send you guys the email today? I don't even remember writing it.
Yep.
Yeah, I got one.
Oh, okay. We're going to start with Celtics as they are starting their season on Wednesday as this is released. The NBA started last night, Tuesday. Warriors versus Nets and Lakers versus Clippers. Who won those games?
Warriors.
Lakers.
Lakers.
I think that's correct. Congratulations to them. Celtics start, but bigger headlines in Celtics news is they are leader in the clubhouse along with a couple other teams to land James Harden in a trade proposal. Obviously, James Harden's name has been floated around here all offseason, and now the Celtics are thrown in as quote-unquote leaders or whatever the fuck they were calling them. The deal is revolving around Jaylen Brown. The other contenders for James Harden right now, the Raptors with a deal revolving around Siakam, the Nuggets with a deal surrounding Murray. Miami has flat out said, we're out. We don't want that schmuck. So I ask you, if you're Houston, what deal do you want? What do you want in exchange? And obviously, between fillers and draft picks or whatever, consider that somewhat equal. Let's just go with Siakam, Murray, or Brown as your return, and probably 1 or 2 first-round picks, and probably an additional role player or a young role player that's going to come along with that. So if you're the Celtics, call it Jaylen Brown, Time Lord, and 3 first-round picks, something like that.
You might see Naismith in that deal too.
Whatever,
if it
yeah.
happened, just to fill salary.
Whatever you want to throw in there for young prospect talent and salary filler, cap filler, whatever the fuck they need to do. But let's consider Murray, Siakam, and Brown the key pieces to get Harden. If you're the Rockets, because we've talked about it, no one really wants Harden, although I might have a change of heart here. If you're the Rockets, Bill, what deal do you want?
I like the Jamal Murray deal the best because you're going to get Michael Porter Jr. in that deal too. So I mean, he missed his first year, I think, with a back injury. He played last year, played well. So I mean, he's got a lot of potential. He's another lottery pick there. So I mean, you're basically getting 2 lottery picks. And I love Jamal Murray. You saw him ball out in the playoffs this year. He averaged over 30 points a game, especially against the Clippers. Game 5, 6, and 7, he was a fucking monster when they needed him to be. You know what I mean? If you're trying to replace a pure scorer and James Harden, I mean, Jamal Murray is right up there with anybody that's on the trade market now. He's a better scorer than Brown, better scorer than Siakam. And I mean, he's another young player. I'd probably try to build around him. I like Jaylen Brown, but I just think Jamal Murray is a better player at this point in their career right now.
Ray?
I'd go with the Toronto deal. I'd take Siakam. Houston's been playing small ball for a number of years with Chris Paul, James Harden. Then they tried again with Russ Westbrook and James Harden. It's just not working. So I'd go with Siakam. That'd be a starting 5 of Wall, Eric Gordon, Daniel House, Siakam, and Christian Wood, which isn't a bad starting 5, in my opinion. Jamal Murray is another small guard. I don't want them to take Jaylen Brown from us. I mean, that would be an enticing piece for them, but I think they got to go big now, especially with LeBron and Anthony Davis running wild in the West. They got to start being able to compete with those guys.
I don't know if it's a homerism. Right on the surface, I'm going Jamal Murray because the NBA is about scoring right now, and Jamal Murray can flat out fucking score. Dude's a baller. He's not afraid of the moment. I think your ceiling is highest with Jaylen Brown still. I still think Jaylen Brown has the highest ceiling as a two-way player. He's got it. We've been talking about it from the Celtics perspective. He's got to learn how to be a creator, but he has the potential to drop 30. He has the potential to be an all-NBA defensive player. He's got the head on his shoulders to be that guy. He's 23, 24 years old. I think that he still has the highest upside. I said it last year going to the bubble. Siakam is a talented player, but he can be shut down. Maybe on a Rockets team where he's a third option, maybe, Ray. I like him in that role, but he's, I don't know if I'm centering a trade around it. If that's the best you can get for the Rockets, that's one thing. But so to answer my own question right now, I'd go Murray, but I think Jaylen Brown still has the highest upside. I'm probably looking at that Celtics deal, which may or may not include Marcus Smart, may or may not include the best shooter in this year's draft, James Naismith, which is with his peach baskets. Time Lord, who still has untapped potential, even though I think he sucks. I think you just have more to pick from there, and that's where I'd go. I hope they don't, because let me switch back. I don't know if I asked you this, but I know, Ray, you're not taking him. You have been out on Harden. I think, Bill, if I'm correct, he said the Rockets would be better just dumping Harden on the street and playing with role players. They would be a better team.
Better team. Yep. That's exactly what he said.
That's exactly what I said.
Confirm that, chosen
Obvious one. Obvious one.
Sorry, obvious one?
Yes.
Definitely not the chosen one. No. Can I do a I've snapped in my own head about this 2 or 3 times.
I've been going back and forth all day too.
When I first read that it was between the Raptors and the Celtics, I went, "Fuck! If the Raptors get him, you're screwed. If the Raptors get him, he'll be a thorn in your side for the next couple years there, just hitting buckets. They probably won't win because I'm on record saying James Harden will never win, and I truly believe that. However, me overreacting to those 2 preseason games has caused me to say, just fucking go get me someone who is NBA proven. And obviously James Harden is NBA proven, even if he's fat, eating chicken wings and looking at titties all off season.
What a life.
However, if that includes Jaylen Brown.
That one took a minute to register.
I know. I like how he took the sip of the beer after too, just in pure fucking dismay. It's like, Jesus Christ, if only.
If only that was my life. That'd be amazing.
Eating chicken wings, looking at titties all summer.
Oh, come on. How awesome would that be?
It should be, Ray. Like once your kids get of age to the point where they're on their own, you should just fucking say, screw it. Move to a beach town, find a shanty, and that's it. Just be that guy. I think
it's in COVID times. How come they haven't found an outdoor strip club yet?
I'm sure there's
Put some big fucking fences around it. You know, and there you go, outdoor strip club. Boom.
They had a drive-through one, and I don't know where it was, but they had a drive-through
Wasn't
one.
it Portland?
Portland, Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, I've always had the thought of like a bottomless donut shop, so it's just pussy and donuts. I feel like I can. That that'd be a fucking good market. Who
I don't
doesn't
know
want?
where- I don't know where the
Every
connection is
every
between-
girl gets a week off every month.
They have to put a hairnet down
Hopefully
there
they
if they
don't-
have like
hope-
a landing strip or something.
Yeah, hopefully they don't sync up, so I have to hire new employees. But
Back to my snip snap Celtics talk. Good tangent there. If it includes Jaylen Brown, I'm out. The Jays are untouchable to me on this team. This is the way you have to go. Steering away from that, you're just gonna fuck chemistry up. You're just gonna screw things up. I like Jaylen Brown. I think he has upside still, and James Harden is a walking time bomb, walking fat time bomb for any team that he goes to. It could work. It might not work. The talent is obviously there, but everything that we just ripped him for last show for what he was doing for the Rockets, I don't think it would happen in Boston. I think that the hierarchy here is obviously established, but talent's talent, man. We saw what Kyrie did to this team in 1.5 seasons, basically. So, yeah, my final verdict on that is no thank you. What about Danny? Bill, does Danny pull the trigger? Should he? You haven't weighed in on this on your snip snap decision yet.
he's a star fucker. That's for sure. And I think his whole GM, like the history of his GMs, is basically for this moment to get.
And not
these
to interrupt
guys.
you, but remember, he wanted him when they got Jeff Green for that Kendrick Perkins deal. He's wanted James Harden
Yeah.
forever.
So, I mean, if you look at the deals he made, like this is his mold. He wants to stockpile these guys to get the Garnetts, the Ray Allens. I mean, this is the time now. If you're going to make the move, he probably should do it. Truthfully, like I'm like I said, I'm kind of snip snapping, and I just think with the way Brown is, it's like how high does Danny value his ceiling? Because if he doesn't value his ceiling that high, I think he's gone, and then you're going to bring in an MVP in James Harden. Truthfully, I mean I think that's the biggest thing. I know we value him, and we think his potential is through the roof, but we don't know jack shit about basketball compared to Danny Ainge and all these guys, right? So
I take offense to that. Let me ask you this question, Bill. If James Harden didn't come with the baggage, is it a no-brainer?
Yes.
Ray?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
give
the
up
head.
on?
It's the head. He's
do you give
so
up on?
fucking good.
Do you give up on Jaylen Brown as a young, talented guy that you drafted into your system, into your team for an MVP talent, if it doesn't come with the headache that is James Harden?
Yep.
So we're completely avoiding the way that he plays basketball now. Dribble for 20 seconds and then shoot a three.
I think he could probably be better in offense. I think
That's the answer I was looking for.
I think in the Celtics offense he could be better. I think Brad's a better coach than anything he's ever had. Dan and Tony, Scott Brooks, right there in Oklahoma City. I don't think they're great coaches. We know Dan and Tony's been fired how many times? You've seen Brad Stevens do it. I mean, I think he's made for this offense. I mean, look how he's just going to run around the three-point line, and that's all he wants to do. He wants to put up 50 points a game. This offense is going to be made for. Remember when we were talking about like Kevin Love making this? Like if the Celtics try to make for Kevin Love, perfect player to fit in this offense. I think that's James Harden, and they need a guy like this because the Friday or the last show we did, I mentioned like there's no contingency when Tatum's off the court. They're in trouble scoring the ball, especially with Kemba and maybe even with Kemba on the court. You know what I mean?
The knee injury from Kemba is a problem because a healthy Kemba Walker coming when signed by the Celtics was a 30-point player. I mean, he averaged 25, 27 points a game. That for 8 seasons. Like that was no fluke. It's not like Kemba Walker. Like I get he has a knee injury, and I get in the playoffs that affected him. But people forget about who Kemba Walker actually was in the NBA. Now
He's tough though. He's still trying to gut it.
Probably will never be that again, based on this knee injury and his age. So yeah, you have to start looking for different options, which is why you heard his name being bounced around in trade discussions all off season because Danny's trying to fucking unload another unhealthy point guard that he gave big money to, which is another story for another day. The James Harden thing is interesting. Yeah, I'm 60-40 no, but I can see it working because I'm a Celtics homer and I want it to work. But that on-court and off-court baggage. And obviously the report, was it today that came out that he was chucking balls at rookies?
I'm trying to, yeah. And just one last thing.
Fuck you, Rook. Suck my dick.
And just
Pass
one
me
last.
the fucking rock, dude. There's still seconds left in the shot clock, man. I get the ball until there's 3 seconds, and I decide what happens after that. You bitch.
And the one thing that might work in the Celtics' favor, because the rumors coming out of Houston is they don't give a shit who they get back. It's all about the players and not the picks. Like, it's all about draft picks and salary relief. So if you can get them to take Kemba Walker, I know it won't happen, but if you could somehow get Smart and Kemba, I think that deal's a no-brainer, truthfully, and just throw in all the picks.
Here's an interesting aside: is John Wall's contract worse than Kemba Walker's?
Yes.
Much worse.
He hasn't played a game in 18 months.
If you're the Celtics, if you swap Kemba for John Wall, does that get enticing for the Rockets? You have 3 years left of a semi-healthy Kemba versus 3 years left, more expensive John Wall. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's probably moot in terms of the numbers thing. I'd have to look at it and see what the thing is. But John Wall has played basketball 2 years.
If John Wall can play to before his knee injury, and if you could entice Houston to get him and Harden, you're probably the best. You're definitely the best team in the East. You're a 100%. Just on pure talent.
You think John Wall's better than Kemba Walker?
Healthy, probably. I think he's more
he's not. I just told you, Kemba Walker's a 30-point scorer. John Wall can't shoot.
John Wall can only drive. Fast. He's very fast. You can just drive to the basket. That's it.
He used to be. He doesn't have a knee. All right, this has been a tangent. We got game 1, Celtics versus Bucks. Tristan Thompson on a minute restriction. Obviously, Kemba out till at least January. Brad Stevens came out today, Tuesday, and said that he is not close to returning. Good news there. Awesome. Marcus Smart, here's the good news. Marcus Smart said he's going to focus on his shot selection this year because when he shoots good shots, he's an excellent shooter. I think even a different word than a fantastic, a superb. Just like really, really tooting himself on his shooting skills there.
He's the obvious one on the Celtics.
The obvious one there. Is this good news, though? If he's shooting less, isn't he just shooting less?
He ain't going to shoot less. He's going to shoot fucking more now. You serious?
I just hope it limits his contested shots.
I'm focusing on my shot selection.
He never say he's going to shoot less. Yeah. He's going to shoot more and be like, hey, I had a great shot selections tonight. I just tried my best. You know?
Yeah, I've been really
if he's open, I don't mind him shooting. If he's open, shoot the ball.
No,
if you're open, shoot it. But don't. It's the contested shit. And when he starts making those, then he starts shooting more and more. But if he's wide open shooting 3, take the shot.
I don't mind it. Here's the deal. He's become a 36, almost 37% three-point shooter, which is fine. It's not even necessarily the contested shots for me. Those are frustrating. It's the fourth quarter shots where you have more shots. You have the most shots with a team with Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Gordon Hayward on it. You should not be leading the team in shots. You should have none. The only shot you should have is and one at the basket, gathering up an offensive rebound. That's it. That's the only shot you should have. So if that's what he's talking about in terms of shot selection when he gets to the fourth quarter, pass the fucking thing, I'm for it. You want to take a couple step back threes in the beginning of the game and try and get hot and be one of those guys for the first 3 quarters that helps your team stay in it or get a lead, no problem. This is the whole thing about Marcus Smart. Understand your role. When you get to crunch time, when you get to the fourth quarter, it's not your fucking team. More stabbings, Bill?
No, I'm hearing yelling outside, so I am looking.
Yeah, it's Christmas, baby. Let's go.
Christmas in Queens Landing.
Oh, dude, so
interrupting my fucking beautiful Marcus Smart tangent.
No, I'm sorry.
It was great.
I heard, you hear bitches screaming outside. You get a little nervous.
In your driveway? Are they in your driveway?
Parking lot.
I have my own spot, which is my driveway.
Okay.
But no, with Marcus Smart though, like again, if you're in the fourth quarter, I think Brad designs shots plays to get him wide open. Those corner threes, I'm okay with him doing that. You saw it a little bit in the playoffs. It was Toronto or Miami where he hit 6 straight in the fourth quarter. That basically brought him back in the game. And he was money. Those are the shots I want him to take. It's everything else. If he has to have more shots than Tatum, I don't like that in the fourth quarter. But if he's getting open looks every single time, and he's got second, like if you look at a lot of his shots too, he's got 2 or 3 seconds where he can sit there, stand, compose himself, and then drain those shots. Brad runs that offense through that all the time because he's open all the time for that. Take those shots, but it's everything else. Stop driving in the basket late in the game, which I hate. That's the biggest shit there. You got to defer there because he's trying to draw the foul. I don't think he's a great free throw shooter. He's around 70, 72%. He's missed big ones in big games. So, I mean, eliminate that stuff. I'm fine with the open shots. Just if you're open, let it rip. Especially 3, let it rip.
The thing is, though, is he is a very streaky shooter. If he's missing that's when he should start driving to the hoop. But he doesn't. He just keeps jacking up threes until one finally goes in, and that's my biggest problem with Marcus Smart. Yeah, if you're hitting them, go for it, keep shooting. But if you're missing early, stop shooting the fucking three. But he doesn't. He just keeps continuously shooting that fucking three ball, and it sucks.
I'll say this point again. Quarters 1 through 3, whatever. If Brad's running the offense and you're getting the shots, fine. If you're missing, you're still shooting. You know what? I don't care if it's still going in the game. When you get to the fourth quarter, it is not your ball anymore. Give it up. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And I don't care if Brad Stevens is running the offense and it gets Marcus Smart an open shot. It's not your ball. It's Jason Tatum's ball because it's the fourth quarter. And that leads to why Marcus Smart is shooting with the shots he's taking, because Jason Tatum's not hitting those big shots. Or at least up until this point in his career, he hasn't hit enough of them for Marcus Smart to go, okay, yeah, I will give the ball to him because I trust he's going to make it. I don't trust he's going to make it. Do you? If we don't trust that Jason Tatum's going to make it, why should Marcus Smart? And Marcus Smart's probably hit more big shots in his career at this point than Jason Tatum. So, like, trying to get into the psyche of Marcus Smart in those situations, I get that. But if you want this team to go somewhere and develop, you're not the guy, dude. Understand it. Take a couple of those on the chin where Jason Tatum's going to miss an air ball at the end of the game so he can understand what it looks like and feels like when he gets there. That's been my problem with Marcus Smart. Quarters 1 through 3, do your thing, dude. Go for it, AI. In the fourth quarter, give the ball to your all-stars. Hustle, rebound, defend, get the fuck out of the way. The Marcus Smart story. So let's see how that transpires in him focusing on a better shot selection. You excited for this game in Milwaukee, against Milwaukee? Think you get blown out? What's the verdict there?
I think we're going to get blown out. It'll be a close game, but we'll lose down late in the fourth.
I think it could be a blowout. Especially those 2 preseason games that did not look good. I mean, you are getting basically your starting lineup back with Tristan.
But the Bucks also got blown out in both preseason games too.
You're going to get fucking smoked. They're going to get smoked. They're going to get fucking smoked.
2 against 1, the obvious one.
What is
Nice
what does a successful beginning to the season look like? So in a 72-game season, let's call it, I don't know. The schedule is manic. So the first month of the season, do you got to go 500? You got to go better than 500? What does a successful look like?
Top 5 in the East. Whatever that record may be. Just as long as you can stay in contention, especially with Kemba out, Stay in contention.
I co-sign the obvious one. Top 5.
Yeah, I think you got to go over 500. Like, you got to be better than top 5. I want to see him, top 1, 2 in the East. Maybe 3. Wow. Because I think just pure talent. I get it. You don't have Kemba, but you still have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And just if they make that jump, and I know we've questioned it again after 2 preseason games, but if everything starts to click in this regular season, I expect them to be in the top 3, and I expect them not to drop from the top 3 for basically the whole season. The team is that talented. They're very well coached. They play hard. They play hard when guys are out, especially Kemba. They had a winning record last year with Kemba out. They had a winning record with Gordon Hayward out. I think there's still enough talent on this team to definitely win a lot of games. I expect them to be 8 or 9 games over 500 after the first month of the season.
But they're going to get blown out tomorrow or tonight.
That's game 1.
Game 1.
Yeah.
Trust in Shemi.
Oh,
trust in Shemi off the bench. That's the talent.
I just wanted to disagree with both of you. So.
Ooh, a spite take. Excellent.
It was a spite take.
NFL news and notes. Are the 2020 Steelers the biggest fraud since the 2019 Patriots?
Yes.
100.
Well, Bill, we're all agreeing here. Do you want to disagree and have a spite take, or do you all say?
No, they're fucking terrible.
How bad did they look on Monday Night Football?
We said it 3 weeks ago. 3 fucking weeks ago that they were the Patriots of last year, and they're just proving it now. And can we – enough of Juju Smith. Enough of him. Enough of him dancing on the logo. You've just lost 3 fucking games in a row. You're 1 game up
on his TikTok.
I don't give a shit. You're 1 game up on Cleveland with 1 game to play against them. You can lose this fucking division and drop to the 6th or 7th seed because you just pissing away the season. The season was schedule driven this year. It was the same reason the Patriots started 8-0 when they first played their real team, Baltimore, and got blown out on Sunday Night Football. This is exactly what happened.
Yeah, you said it wrong. They will lose this division.
Ray, why don't you lay out do you have the games in front of you? I know because you sent this text to us last night that they could fall down to 6th pretty easily, maybe even 7th pretty easily. And I agree with you. I didn't simple minds. They didn't pull up the schedule, but they have a couple in there that can lose. But at this point, honestly, you just lost to a 2-win Bengals team. You didn't just lose; you got embarrassed by a 2-win Bengals team. So it doesn't even matter what the schedule is. They could drop the last 5 games of their season.
Well, they're not going to play 5 more games. There's only 2 games.
It would be 5 total. Obvious
sorry.
one.
Obvious one. So yes. So they play the Colts. They play the Colts this week, and the Colts are actually favored in that game, but it's in Pittsburgh, so even Vegas knows they're going to lose. And then Week 17, they finish off with Cleveland.
Are they playing Monday night?
No.
I couldn't find. Oh
wait for this week? No.
I couldn't find the game. That game wasn't on this morning. That's what I was wondering why.
Easily two.
They're going to beat the Browns. Browns they got blown out by Pittsburgh earlier in the year. I don't think that's the hump. That's where you're going to –
I don't know, Bill Brown. They're playing with confidence. Their offense
They just lost to Cincinnati.
It doesn't matter. It's Pittsburgh. It's the same thing. Think about the Bills going into New England every fucking year if they have a chance and then getting the shit kicked out of them when they're hot. Anything like that. Anytime there's something hot. Pittsburgh, in Cleveland, that rivalry has been so lopsided. Rivalry? Sorry, I've been drinking. That rivalry, it's so lopsided. It's just one of those things. I think that Pittsburgh's still going to win the division.
I mean, we'll see. There's still enough talent on
technically
that team.
They're up 2 games right now with the tiebreaker. So,
especially defensively, there's enough talent on that team to do it if they can put it together. But Big Ben,
losing Bud Dupree hurt them bad.
Big Ben looks like
old.
A fucking
needs to go back to the porn,
man. He looks
he's got to start fucking cranking out to midget porn and all this other weird fetishes he's probably into.
So the other thing too, Bill, is that you don't
guys
know
taking girls into bathrooms with security guards, weird shit like that.
The Browns play the Jets this week. That's a win for the Browns.
All right,
and they'll be tied going into Week 17.
Who's at home? Is the Pittsburgh at the Colts?
Pittsburgh's home against the Colts, and then
give me Pittsburgh in that game. Oh fucking yeah, no,
okay,
they're not going to lose the Colts at home. They know they got to. Phillip Rivers.
They just lost.
I don't care. Phillip Rivers. We're not talking about.
You
guys are forgetting the Phillip Rivers X factor here, going into Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the Phillip Rivers X factor that has led a Colts team to going to be one of the hardest.
It shames me because you're the biggest Phillip Rivers hater here, and you're trying to defend him.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I have no qualms against
Bullshit.
Phillip Rivers.
How many times in these shows? Oh, Phillip Rivers sucks. He's fucking terrible. I don't trust him. Blah, 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 blah. And now you're going to trust him to go into Pittsburgh?
I don't know if I've ever said
Run
that.
the tape back.
Are you talking about an early line show? Because that's not me. That's
about
Date
everything.
You're an idiot. You're just saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot we had fucking alter egos on this show.
That's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, you have 16 of them. Ray created a Street Fighter fucking screen for choose your fighters because of all your goddamn fucking personalities that come out of here.
Yeah.
I forgot about this. Did you guys actually watch the game and just what is in the water that makes Cincinnati players gigantic cunts? Is it just the fact that they lose so much?
Don't dance on their fucking logo to make a TikTok video.
That kid, that cornerback that
he
got the interception, high stepped out of bounds. He got the 45 or whatever, and then got the taunting call, and then got another interception, and then taunted on the other sideline like a play later. And then they kept running it back to the Vontaze Burfict. Is he – I mean, I was trying to think in my head, top 10, but he might be top 5 dirtiest,
top 5
nastiest players in the NFL, in NFL history.
I got Bill Romanowski, and Abhigit Sue, Vontaze Burfict, and then who was my 4th? I had another one.
Dude, that hit again on AB, that alone should put him in the top.
Rodney Harrison's up.
Richie Incognito. Richie Incognito is another dirty motherfucker.
Rodney Harrison.
Yeah. Rodney Harrison was bad. Yeah, he was a bad one, especially with Chargers. Either way, they were running those replays back. That is a nasty, dirty rivalry.
That's how Antonio Brown got crazy. Is because Vontaze Burfict took his fucking head off.
That might be true.
That hit was such a piece of shit. I'm surprised he lasted in the league as long as he did. He made it 10 years. He got suspended out. Yeah, he got suspended with the Raiders last year or the year before. Yeah. And that was it for him for another nasty hit. Yeah,
he's got in legal trouble too, right I think. Off the
I think he just beat up his wife.
Surprise.
Weird,
yeah.
He'll be in UFC, no problem. Dan White would fucking take him.
I don't know. Greg Hardy just got the shit kicked out of him on Saturday night.
Ooh, Greg Hardy could go up there as a
dirty
Greg
player.
Hardy's right.
Yeah.
Well,
he wasn't
it's
dirty
only because he just threw a bitch
yeah.
on some guns. Come on, who hasn't done that?
Right.
That's a Bill weekend and a half right there.
Yeah.
Queen's Landing.
That's the porn I like to watch.
Ray, do we have a 10-minute warning here? I can't do these.
Yeah, now. It's
I
now.
can't do these goddamn sessions without
It's now.
somebody
We
fucking
start at
yelling at us.
6:03, so it's
All right, let's switch gears. Let's move to the Bruins. No? Did I miss something?
No.
Didn't
Perfect.
say anything.
I'm shaking my
you
head.
said-
Yeah, let's do it.
You said no, Bill or Ray, or
He's
chosen,
dumb.
No, I
or
didn't.
obvious one. Bruins. Zdeno Chara making headlines today. Supposedly has 20. Oh fuck yeah! There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Nice.
it's back.
Thank you. Whatever. I'm
Your
not
wife's not
paying.
gonna yell at you when she sees a credit card bill now.
Yeah, what is this? All right, Chara, 20 teams interested. Cam Neely's latest comments basically trying very, very hard to say that we don't want Chara back as nicely as possible. Bill, you're shaking your head in the most distracting manner possible as I'm just putting out the headline here. Just give me your thoughts on Zdeno Chara and some of the news coming out on him. And I have some – I put in the email some thoughts that we could go over after this, but just give me your initial Chara
There's not fucking 20 teams. He's been linked to one outside the Bruins. It's the New York Rangers. There's not 20 teams.
Who put that? Sorry to interrupt. Who put that on there? His agent?
His
Yes.
agent.
That to my next point, it's just agent. It's Scott Boras 101 right here. We have X amount of teams interested, trying to get up a bidding war. Dude, you're 44 this season. You've played 13 games in 9 months, and you basically have to play 56 in 114 days, roughly. So you're playing. It's basically back to back to back. You can't have a 44-year-old defenseman who's lost a step for the last 6 years, averaging 21 minutes a game for the Boston Bruins. Ain't fucking happening, right? So where is he going to go on? There's not 20 teams are interested in a guy that they could expect to play that many minutes. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's the Bruins, or I think it's Bruins and the Rangers, and that's it.
So, but Ray, I mean, thoughts from Cam Neely, it sounds like they don't want him.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds so. They have Lazan, Vakanainen, and Zobril, all young defensemen that need to get time, want to get time, that they want to take a look at.
Left side defenseman too.
Right, all left side defensemen young left side defensemen that they want to take a look at. I know you're on the get Chara out of here train.
Yes, I am. They said also if he got brought back, he'd be spending most of his time on the ninth floor watching games, and then if there's an injury or whatever, he'd come in. He's
still valuable. You can actually play him on the third line. He's still like the third line D. He's still valuable, especially on the penalty kill. So if you put most of his minutes on the penalty kill with his long fucking reach and just staying in his own zone, he's very valuable to this team. But when it's the 5-on-5 play, the quick forwards now which is all hockey game, he struggles. So you can hide him on the third line. I would expect him to act if he's back on the Bruins. That's where I expect him to be. I don't think he comes back to sit in the ninth floor. I just don't think
But the reason that they don't want to do that is because they want to take a look at the young kids. So my thought was package one of these young kids with one of the young wingers and go fucking trade for somebody if you want to open up a winger.
I would not do that, only because again you're still searching for a left shot defenseman. You know, you've been looking at that, especially losing Krug, with Chara uncertainty. There's not like you got too much young guys there. You would want to go out and get something more valuable to the D pair, because that, I think right now that's probably your weakest point. You're banking too much on these young guys. Zobril got picked in 2015. He hasn't panned out. Vakanainen's very questionable. You don't really know what you're going to get out of him. I mean, so you're banking on these first round picks that have spent 3, 4, 5 years in the minors now. So you really need to get a veteran veteran in there that has more talent than Chara. So it's hard to trade those guys because you're so lacking at the left shot defenseman, and that's what they need, and that's what they're still looking for.
Here's what I'd say on Chara. The most value, if he wants to come back and play in the NHL, the most value that he has is on the Boston Bruins in whatever role that is. If that's healthy scratch and load management, you can easily come up with and devise plans for Zdeno Chara to miss time on purpose to get a look at these young kids, especially early in the season. That's not a problem. He keeps his C. He's still a part of the organization. You pay him a fucking $1 million, probably, whatever the veteran minimum is.
2.7. It was like 1.2 and then 1.7 in
If you're going to
incentives.
interrupt me for fucking 0.2, Bill, you numbers geek. The point is the idea of Chara being in the building for the Boston Bruins is 10 times more valuable than the New York Rangers. You just said it, Bill. He can't play first, second, or third line minutes. He can't do that. So I actually do expect him to be back with the Bruins in some way. He might not even get picked up at the beginning of the season. He might just sit around for a while and with a handshake deal that when the Bruins are ready, they might bring him on. Don't be shocked if you see that.
Where else is he going to go? He can't go to Canby Lake if he goes to New York Rangers. He can't ride that chicken ride. So, fuck yeah, he's going to take it.
He's made Boston home, too. So, I mean, I don't expect to go anywhere.
Well, he was down in Florida, and he took his fucking wood-paneled station wagon up to get back for the bubble. So, he might have a spot down there. We don't know. Who the fuck wants to go to Florida? All right, as we close this up, Billy Hot Stove, just give us a quick update. Who have the Red Sox signed today?
That's a big 0, people, Rich.
Excellent. Yep, good update. This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, Wednesday edition, December 23rd. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So you want to throw out some more Jesus porn ideas?
Oh, God. No. I don't want another strongly worded email that I'm going to hell.
You already know that you're going to hell.
From the old man.
It's been a while, and we put out some real heaters.
Wait till you see the video you just released.
Oh, my God.
We really bullied you pretty hard these last few shows, Ray. We haven't heard a peep. We're not heard a peep from your old man.
Don't worry. His wife stuck up for him for dinner the other night and told us we should stop bullying him. And then his mom said, stop bullying my sweet baby. So,
That was nice.
Yeah.
There's lots of things discussed at dinner that we might have to talk about in the next show.
I heard a little birdie chirp me today about some inside information that was discussed.
Oh, that I'm going to make sure I'm going to win this pick'em? Oh, yeah. It's happening.
Not
there it is.
How?
There it is.
How many? I don't even know how many I'm up, anyways.
Oh,
I don't want to finish in last place. That's it.
We get it because you don't like to, nor do you do bet losses. I don't think he has yet.
Because I haven't lost a bet.
I don't know if that's true. Didn't he lose a bet and didn't do it right? Check the ledger.
I'll have to check the ledger.
Go back in your crayons. They're probably all smudged that far back.
Well, it's a hot summer.
I sweat a lot.
I do.
Just sweat running down the palm as you're drawing Bill's face. Bill's gray beard and whatever fucking punishment he had to do.
Yeah.
In crayon next to it.
The only bet I made was the Tuga tattoo.
Well, that's an ongoing bet, so
that's forever. That's
forever.
Like a forever stamp, Bill.
And
it's
every
like herpes, it doesn't go away.
bet we've paid up. Look it up.
Look it up.
I'll look it up. Don't worry.
I was thinking, did you change notebooks in the ledger at all, or is it the same one?
Well, I have. I've changed several notebooks.
Really?
But I have all of them right here.
I like that, Bill, we've never seen them. They've never once appeared on video.
Never. Can you scan them in and email them to us, please?
Yeah, actually, I would like them faxed to me. I'll send you my fax number.
Yeah. Just make sure those... Yeah, give me the right numbers, please.
You shoot on down to the Raymond Town Library.
Dudley Tucker.
Who the
Put
fuck
some respect on that.
I'm sorry.
Fuck has
the
a
Dudley
fax
Tucker
machine?
Library and fax them over.
Yeah, I can do that.
Dude, I got